Hi everybody. Okay, so I'm making a video in regards to the Hersha Patel video with the BBC, and she made this fried rice dish, um, and it had like a bunch of stuff. And the only reason why I knew about it was because of Mr. Nigel Ng's video and his caricature as Uncle Roger. Dude's funny as ever. Please check him out. So I wanted to be just wrote some points, and it's fried rice and you. So I don't know how to make fried rice like that. Me put that out there right now. I was wanted to. Uh, Asian culture is very interesting to me. Um, but I had seen a bunch of videos that. Well, sorry, hold my. Okay, that's good. Hopefully, I hope my I guess I hope I'm not too offensive when I do put this out. So I had a range of emotions when I watched like kind of reply videos to it, and I seen like an interview from the BBC in regards to Mr. Nigel Ng's video with him himself and Hersha Patel and another spokeswoman. And so it made me wonder, why shouldn't you use a metal spoon for a nonstick pan? I was curious about that. Another point is why are, it just seems kind of redundant to me that Asians are, now again, I understand this similar point when black people kind of critique other people like whites who try to kind of emulate black culture and kind of plagiarize it and stuff like that. And the context is similar, and but that's a different topic altogether. My point was, it's just I found it kind of redundant. I found it kind of redundant because it's apparent that this isn't like authentic. Another thing is, it came off as a little douchey to me. This isn't made for kids, so I just want to let you know that now. It's not. It came off a little douchey to me because I thought it was just kind of like obvious a little to me that is BBC, is not necessarily Asian, is British. She's Hersha Patel, so she's like a Southern Asian. Um, and from what I understand, she's culturally British, so she's technically a British woman who happens to be South Asian. Um, and I seen this video, and had a man and a female, and who they are specifically is kind of no importance to me. Kind of, it kind of is, but it's kind of not, because it wasn't just specifically them taking shots at Hersha Patel as the media personality. It was just like a collective group. And again, we know how it happens when people make mistakes and goof up, and then they say, "Oh, condemn this person." And again, it kind of makes sense when they're kind of representatives of a larger entity, because a larger entity is not actually the person themselves. And so they all kind of hounded on this woman, about not making rice and stuff like that. And again, it's funny, but at the same time, it's like these are literal comments that's kind of like, this is like a flood of comments. And I'm pretty sure in these Asian countries, it's not just like 1,000 people. It's probably million, maybe 100,000s of people. And now I'll give her flack for just not being able to make rice. And so it just kind of, it left me with a bad taste in my mouth. And I seen similar videos, but it was kind of unrelated, and it was essentially the same theme of like, you're not really like doing our culture right. And it's kind of like, what they supposed to. um and so in the video, you seen the impression that it was just kind of like, she was just, you seen a lot of bitter gall, a lot of like uh, I don't want to say spite, but it was kind of spite. It was like cultural spite. And again, I know how that feels, uh giving people like the cultural jab, because it's like, uh, you know, why are you trying to do something that's not necessarily in your culture, but why are you doing it in your style? That's kind of weird. But it just kind of felt like a dick measuring contest of somebody's culture. Now in contrast, why I want to say why Mr. Nigel Ng's videos, by contrast to these literal people who are kind of dogging on one woman for her, I guess essentially her job to present a British flair to a culturally Eastern dish. Is it Central Asian? I can never really tell what kind of part of Asia, Central Asia, China, essentially. Um, but it just seemed kind of like it was just kind of irritating to me when I heard it. But no, sorry, going back to Doctor. I keep calling him Doctor Mister Nigel Ang's video in as his caricature Uncle Roger. Now again, his character is hilarious. It's a caricature, and some caricatures are based off truth, and they're not always based off like. I mean, that's why they're funny because they're exaggerations of the truth. And in his video, he was just kind of talking about stuff that people understood, and I've had that where I've understood. Again, I've had experiences where people they critique from where they're from, and people apparently became popular because it's like it's relatable. But another videos about people who have it's kind of strange to me because it's like they have videos that don't explicitly talk about their culture. Like they don't have like the Asian channel, and if they do, it's based off a parody. It's like a caricature. But if they have their channel, and it doesn't necessarily mean like this is the Asian channel, it just seems kind of on the nose when they do say, "Hey, we're gonna talk about this culturally." And yeah, can you have a hybrid of stuff? Yeah, I think you can have a hybrid of stuff. I'm black. I talk about non-black issues that are general to humanity and human things, but also I'm black. So it's like you can have a hybrid of conversations. But sometimes I wonder if the context matters a lot more uh not in this one, because the reason why I like his caricature is because he kind of identifies with that uncle, probably that's like he loves his culture, and he's wincing at people trying to assimilate his dish to other people's culture. So it's like, this is mine, and it's not so much just saying this is mine, you can't have it, or cultural gatekeeping. I think it's more so just like, this is something that's very near and dear to me. So if you butcher it, then I'm gonna feel a type of way, because that it hits home, and that's kind of like if an American woman online, or from the mainstream says, um, culturally speaking, from America, I'm going to show you guys how to cook chicken or fried chicken. Then you'll have black people kind of doing similarly and say, man, this white lady don't know how to cook chicken. Or if she does it her particular way, this is how I cook chicken. Now, it's the commentary on a cultural assimilation, because you have your culture and you have your culture in its authenticity, and then you have cultures that try to kind of mimic or emulate your culture, and they're from another culture and they try to do this blending thing, and it's not even necessarily an idea of fusion, the whole mix two cultures together. It's more so like a assimilating of your authentic culture from another culture's lens. And so you could almost consider that a bastardization of your culture. And even though it was meant for jokes, it kind of gives this rebound, this backlash. So another thing that kind of goes back to my another point is the BBC thought it was okay to do this to Hersha Patel. Now again, people don't do this out of random. Like, I feel like if they have done this, and somebody that didn't have clout like Nigel Ang, sorry, hard to pronounce for me. If someone a credible and maybe not a comedian like Nigel Ang, it I wonder if it would have just stayed in house, and I mean that just inside the culture. Because again, he's a character. He's funny. He represents your average uncle who, represents, he's a character. He's just kind of like a general concept, and it's just meant for jokes. But I say I kind of blame the BBC for their ignorance, and they just like, yeah, people have different ways of cleaning their rice and all that, and that's cool. That's cool. But again, they were showing a cultural dish. Like if somebody had like Hersha Patel, I would think South Asian. Imagine if somebody did a chicken biryani. I'm sorry, tikka masala or chicken biryani dish, and they use some weird way of cleaning their rice or whatever, or some weird way of preparing the chicken. I've tried to cook it before, and I'm not gonna say I'm like anything good at it. I butchered it when I made it, and even then that's kind of iffy. But kind of like imagine if I showed them my way of doing it, and I say, hey, and I had a big platform like the BBC, and I said, hey, let me show you how to make Indian dishes. So would I get flack? Probably, because I am not a part of that culture. I am not a representative of that culture to share that culture. Again, now I don't know if she's a representative of the BBC or she represents herself as a brand. I don't really know those details. I just know that the BBC put her on and gave her a script, and there you have it. She made the video, and then did what people did to Hersha Patel, and these criticisms of not being able to cook rice is the difference is just he did it as an art, as humor, as comedy. Comedy is good at kind of poking at those cultural inconsistencies or those weird things, and just say, hey, isn't that? I'm like, do what you want to do. That's your culture. You handle it how you handle it. Just I guess just be smart about how you handle it. That's it. That's all I got. Fried rice and you guys. I